Welcome to Sky Blue Fans TV. Thanks for joining us tonight. Joining me on the panel this evening is Victoria, while Jack and Miles and Ken are unavailable tonight. It's just the two of us, but we've got a special guest on. We have Steve. Now, Steve, who lives in Wales, is proudly Welsh and makes his journey across the border to follow the Sky Blues. Dedication that every supporter can appreciate. Yes, he's Welsh, he lives in Wales and travels from Wales. Tonight, we won't be going on too much about the old ground. We've spoken about previous matches enough, I think, in the last week or so. Well, I don't know, we might do a little knowing us, but the main focus is looking ahead to the Swansea game. We'll be discussing our expectations, possible team selection, formations, and what we think Coventry can expect from Swansea on the night. As always, we want to hear from you as well, to get your thoughts into the comments. Maybe you'd like us to discuss the lineups, the club shop, behind the scenes, matters at the club, or anything else on your mind. We'll also touch on the scheduling talking point with Blackburn set for, well, with us playing Blackburn now. I think that will be our 7th televised match in a row. And for Blackburn supporters, it could mean their last traditional 3 p.m. Saturday home kickoff was all the way back in January. And we thought the Premier League timings were bad. The increase in live matches was always going to mean more fixtures being moved, and it's clearly becoming a big talking point for the fans across the game. So settle in, get involved in the chat, and let's talk Sky Blues. I'm going to bring Victoria in. With me and Vicky have been spending the afternoon together, haven't we, Vicky?
I know. I feel like I've seen quite a lot of you today, Claudio. This is a bit much.
No,
You're right.
all day and now in the evening. We went to the Diamond Club lunch. You came along with me. And
very enjoyable.
What did you think to? What do you think to Dennis Mortimer and the PowerPoint?
That's some organisation, isn't it? That's very impressive. I feel like you really need the whole day for him, though, don't you? He's got a lot to say. But it was a really entertaining afternoon, and he was a great guest.
And you couldn't believe how full the room was. There's a lot of people there, wasn't there?
Yeah, there must be a good couple of hundred, isn't there? That's good going, and it's just a really nice event, and it just. Given, especially some of the older people that maybe can't get to matches anymore, like an avenue to sort of keep connections with the club. I just think it's a really nice idea, really well organised, and obviously a lot of that's by volunteers. So it's something else good that the club fan base do, isn't it? There's a lot of people within the fan base that do a lot of work, and fair play.
Yeah, I think it's actually brilliant. It's a great afternoon, actually. Now, should we bring him in? Old Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Old Steve. Good evening. Good evening, Steve. We last spoke in the Christ the King little clubhouse last Saturday, wasn't it, before the game? And we're feeling quite high spirits. I think we thought we were going to get something out of the game last weekend. I said we'll touch briefly on last Saturday. So briefly, your thoughts on last Saturday?
Yeah, I thought the performance was okay. Not excellent, but it was good enough to win. I think we play like that 9 times out of 10, we win. A couple of chances we should have put away, which we didn't. But there was no need for panic. It wasn't a massive dip in form or anything like that. It was a free hit, and we just didn't take our chances and failed to take it. The only thing now is that causes pressure, I think, a little bit on Saturday. We need to get something out of that game. At least a point. We need to get 4 points from the next 2 and keep getting an average of 2 points a game as we have done all season.
What I did during the week, obviously, they were playing Norwich, weren't they, Southampton? So I thought I had the choice of watching Champions League football. So why watch loads of goals when I thought I'd watch a 1-0 Southampton win instead? And I was watching it, and I did laugh because I was watching it with the Southampton commentators. And this is what he said as it approached the end of the game. I cannot believe they've held up 7 minutes. Where have those 7 minutes come from? Just like at Coventry on Saturday. What do you make to that? With all the time wasting that was going on. Unbelievable.
They surprised me, Southampton, because I thought they could come and outplay us at football. That was the fear. They were good football inside. And they looked like they were setting up for 0-0. They really sat deep, and we had the vast majority of the game. All the stats, I think our XG was something like 2.8. We were definitely the better side, and it just lacked that finish, didn't it? You know, that the header from Haji was straight at the keeper. Thomas Asante had a volley sort of straight at the keeper as well, left or right, either of those, and they're in. But it wasn't much to worry about, but it does put pressure on the next game.
It was interesting, Vicky, because during the injury time, their keeper went down, the Southampton keeper, and sat on the floor. I thought, this is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But with that win, it sees them into the top 6, and all of a sudden, they are coming like a steam train, as they say. They are the form team in the league, I believe. So I wouldn't want to play them in a playoff semi-final, would you?
No, well, that's the sort of team that you're always worried about. There's always a team, isn't there, that hits form about now, goes flying into the playoffs, and they're always the team you want to avoid because they're the one with all the momentum. There'll be a couple of teams that are going to be disappointed that they haven't made the automatics, and sort of maybe dipped away a bit at the end of the season. And then Southampton, that team that could that momentum could like propel them to the final and promotion, couldn't it? Really.
Well, considering they've only lost 10 matches now, when you think where they started this season, not very well. Yeah. But also, Derby have now got themselves in the picture as well, 3 points off the playoffs. And I noticed Watford are 5 points off the playoffs. But I think Watford and Birmingham can't afford to lose a couple of matches, basically, because I think they'll be out of it. So it will be interesting. And I said to Vicky earlier, Steve, that Saturday felt like the first leg of a playoff semi-final. That's what it felt like. And I thought if we played Southampton, that's exactly what they'd do if they come to our place. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
Yeah, definitely. I felt we just lacked a little bit of belief and intensity, just a notch down. But like I say, that the performance wasn't a dip in form. It wasn't a December, January performance. Nothing to worry about here. And they got a bit lucky, didn't they? That corner, everybody missed the ball and it just goes in off the attacker's leg. It was just one of those. Like I say, if we play that like that for the remaining 8, we'll win more often than we won't.
I think you're right.
Performance good enough, I would have said.
I think you're right, Steve. Now, it is our 100th show of the season. Unbelievable. I was 6'5" before the season started. It's wearing me down. This is.
So they say footballers are overworked, don't they? They say footballers are overworked.
I tell you what, I bet they don't. I bet the team don't talk about the football as much as we do. They just play the game and go home, I reckon, and that's it. But we enjoy it all the time. We've got a live one. I'm doing a live one on Saturday after the game at 7:30. That's interesting. Well, hopefully it will be all good news. So do join us for that one. Also, before we go to comments, I just want to bring this up now. I wrote it down so I won't forget. Evening at Greens with Doyle and Kelly. And it's only £2.50 a ticket. And it includes a go in the prize raffle as well. So get yourselves down there. I wouldn't say we're getting there. We're way over halfway with ticket sales. And it's only £2.50. And we've got 2 of the main leaders that got us from League 2 back to where we are now, really, because they laid the foundations of what we got now. And so I think it should be well supported, and it will be a good night. Miles be MC for the evening, and Jack and I think Vicky get involved with the questions to the players, and I'll just be mingling around. I don't know what I'm doing yet. No doubt Miles will give me a job. So me and Ken, I don't know what we're doing yet. Should we have some comments first, Vicky, please?
Okay. So Frank Word has commented about the Diamond Club lunch, and he said that it's always a really good event. But Dennis Mortimer today was brilliant, and Alan Dugdale and Jimmy Holmes were there as well. So it's interesting because obviously Dennis Mortimer was before my time, but he just spoke so well and so interestingly. Even though it's only people I've heard of and not actually seen it, it was just a really interesting event. So that was really good. Then Harry 7416 has said that they've got a bad feeling about Saturday, and they're hoping that BTA or Torp start ahead of Eccles, and then Thomas and Wolfie at the back. And so no doubt we'll talk about like formations and teams later on in the show. Wayne Ghost is also on sort of similar topics, said about three at the back on Saturday, so that's another question to consider in a bit. After the Grander said Southampton were time wasting from the very first minute against us, I was really shocked about that. Like I said on Sunday show, I think it shows how far we've come as a club, doesn't it? That whereas Southampton would have come to us thinking that they would confidently beat us, and we were probably a bit worried, and we might have thought about what we're going to do to shut them down. Teams are now coming to us and happen to employ the dark arts to get anything. So that's I suppose a positive, although strange. Southampton did to us what Burnley did last season. Didn't allow you to play by fouling and time wasting, says Carlo O'Connor. It's just a really frustrating watch, isn't it? That Wayne Ghost says, I really hope Southampton don't go up after the disgraceful behaviour of their fans and players. Yeah, there's some not very nice ones there, isn't there? Trevor Merriman's put thoughts on the change of the Blackburn game. Having to book off time for work, kids, missing school, etc. Do you want to chat about that now, Claudio, or in a bit?
I'll do that later.
Yeah. Ian Smalls put, hi team, some important decisions for Frank on Saturday. Who plays in the 10? Who's up front? Thoughts? So we'll cover that in a bit. Gareth Jones has said, I think every team is time wasted against us at the CBS this season. It's been horrendous. Yeah. Frank Woods says, I think Hull would drop out of the playoffs. Interesting. Darkfart says, had Rodoni played well, if Rodoni had played, we wouldn't have lost. I think, that little bit of a difference in the spark up front was probably what we were missing. Wayne Little Word, hi all, what a big weekend. If we win and Millwall and Ipswich draw, we really do have one foot in the door. So, fingers crossed, because it'd be nice to get that sewn up sooner or later. Wayne Littlewood also says, Swansea's last 10 home games, I believe, have 8 wins and 2 draws. So it's going to be tough. And they are quite high up in the form table. They're not in too bad form, so it's not going to be an easy game. A couple of the people here's Anthony Pettifer, who we had the pleasure of meeting at the Diamond Club today. And it was good to see you as well, Anthony. That was nice. There's a lot of talk about the Blackbirds. I don't know if you want to go back to that once we actually cover it, and I can go back and show those comments when we talk about it rather than addressing that now. I don't know if you want to talk to Steve first, Claudia.
I'll talk to Steve first. So, Steve, you're obviously Welsh. You can tell by your accent. How does a Welshman support Coventry City? That's the thing I didn't ask you that on Saturday.
Oh, it's my favourite story, this. So my uncle, auntie and 2 cousins moved to Coventry with the prison service about, coming up 50 years, about 48 years ago. So 27 years ago, I was best man at my cousin's wedding in Coventry. And my wife was heavily pregnant, due on the Monday. And at the end of the wedding, she started going, I think I'm going to have it. And basically rushed her off to Walsgrave Hospital. And my oldest lad, Tom, was born in Walsgrave Hospital. So 27 years ago, we kind of became Cov fans. I used to come up before he was born for like the Liverpool game and things like that. My uncle would get me tickets. But yes, because of my lad, Tom.
So you basically supported a football team because your lad was born in that city?
Yeah.
That sounds bonkers.
Yeah. So it was, I used to feel I'd take him up to games, once or twice a season, and he was Cov from birth, basically. And it took him 6 or 7 years before he saw us win. I remember one game against Watford, we were 2-0 up at half time, and I nudged him and said, at least we're not going to lose today, mate. And as soon as I said it, it's like the pitch went like that. We lost 3-2. The first time he saw us win, I don't know whether you remember, but it was the World Cup rugby, and Wales were in the semi-final, and we were looking good. Sam Warburton got sent off, and we just ended up losing against the French. So I was kind of in bits. We drove up to Coventry, and we saw Coventry win 1-0 against Nottingham Forest.
So how often do you get up to see the city then?
Normally we'd say about 12 games, But this year, because every game feels so crucial, and I've been telling the wife that this is 1 in a million season, 1 in a million season, we've probably done about 15, 18 games, something like that. We struggle for away tickets. The only way we can get away tickets is through contacts. But I managed to get Preston because that went to general sale. So me and Tom went up for the Preston away game, and we managed to get Bristol tickets through a season ticket contact. And again, we've got Swansea tickets this weekend as well through contacts. But the two people we go up with, they're season ticket holders. They go up every single game and have done for about 30, 40 years. Colin Power and Steve Maloney.
Is that who I met on Saturday?
Yes, that's right.
So a 12:30 kickoff then. How's your day start if you're coming from Wales for a home match?
Well, Colin, who does the drive-in, he lives in Cardiff. So he comes over to Cumberland, pick up Steve and then me and Tom. They like to get there early. So we were in Christ the King for 9 o'clock. So they picked us up just before 7 o'clock in the morning to get there at 9, because we like to have, I think it's because he can have 1 pint then and then, go on to the zeros for the rest of the day. But we like to meet up with his mates and stuff like that. So we're always there early, ridiculously early.
So what's your favourite moments then of watching Cov?
That's a great question. I think let's forget about the obvious ones. I remember me and Tom went away to Portsmouth, and we were 3-1 down. I think Jabello came on, did a 2-footed tackle straight away, and we were down to 9 men.
It was Castanier, wasn't it?
Castanier, yeah. And so we were down to 9 men, 3-1 down, and we came back and got a draw 3-3. And the atmosphere in the away end that day was fantastic. That's got to be a big one for me. Newport County away, that was a good one because they put us in the stand behind the goals, and it was no roof and it just emptied down. I liked that one because it was just down the road for me to go to. But we got a 1-1 draw that day. But there's been some fantastic days out with Cov. Blackpool away, Darmstadt away is the best away day I think we've ever done, pre-season friendly. But Blackpool was good as well. Enjoyed that.
I've got a friend of mine who's a Newport County supporter. He lived in America. He's Welsh. He went over to America, San Francisco, and he moved back. And then he videoed me his cubby hole, his man's room. But most people have a man's drawer. He's got a man's room, and it's wall to wall sticker albums going back from when Panini first started doing stickers. My jaw dropped when I saw the stuff he's got there. He's even got unopened packets from the 1970 World Cup, 1966, 68 European, you name it. It's all the seasons of when Division 1. All the old, it's just incredible collection of sticker albums. But he's not just got English ones, he's got the Italian ones, the French ones, the Spanish ones. It's just ridiculous. I just wanted to live in that room. It's just absolutely amazing. But he's a Newport County fan, and he goes everywhere. He loves it, watching Newport County.
I got a good story about that, actually. You might remember in the 70s or 80s, they were in Europe. And they played against the East German champions, Karl-Heinz Jena. And Tom, the one who was born in Cov, lived in Germany for a year because he did a German degree. And so he used to go away to all these random places to watch football. And he went to Jena, which is close to Poland. It's really far east. And he texted me photos saying, "Dad, they're waving massive Newport County flags. And I've seen 2 Germans with Newport County tops." And I said, yeah, it goes back to that game in Europe where Newport County played Karl-Heinz Jena, and they still remember and they've still got that friendship. But we feel the same, our little group, about Darmstadt. We call our group chat the Darmstadt chat because we all went to Darmstadt away. And it's just one of those trips you'll never forget. But Newport County flags.
They're great, those kind of memories. I think Jena is where, Carl says Jena, it's the camera company, isn't it? They make cameras. It's the East, well, the part of East Germany back then, obviously Germany now, but that's what they made was the cameras. I'm full of this useless information. Vicky, outside of the main games, then what was any matches that stood out for you outside the obvious ones?
I suppose more going back in the day. The trouble is, I suppose it's always like random memories, isn't it? Like for example, I remember being away at Crewe. I think we won like 6-1 or something, and then there's just like random games that you like are in your mind for no real reason, and then just maybe it was a good result or like a memorable day. So like Steve was saying, when we went to like Blackpool away, that's a good one. Grimsby in League 2 will stick out in my memory. Just that crazy goal where the goalkeeper messed up the free kick, and just things like that just stick in your memory. But like the trouble is, a lot of them will be sort of fairly well known. Like when Chelsea had to wear our kit, that always sticks out in my memory. I remember playing Wimbledon back in talking about going down to 9 men at Portsmouth. There was a game in the 90s where Wimbledon we went down to 9 men. I think we drew that 3-3 as well.
Yeah.
Was it 3-3, Claudia? Do you
Yeah,
remember
it was,
that
yeah.
one?
3-3, yeah.
Well, actually, another 9 men with 3-3. So yeah, so just random things like that. It just I mean, there's so many, isn't there? But I'm sure we've all got different weird memories of games that just stick in our head for no real reason. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because you talk about Chelsea wearing our kit. Tottenham did as well in the 87 season. 86, 87.
Yeah, I heard
when,
that before my time, but I heard that,
yeah, they did as well. Which I don't think, and sometimes it takes a while for the home fans to realise they got your kit on, because then it was the yellow one, and you think, hold on a minute, they got our kit on. What's going on here? But the Chelsea one was just obvious. That's our kit. You know what I mean? Do you want to do more comments?
Yeah, there's a couple of questions for Steve actually. So Trevor Merriman said, Steve, is the South Wales Supporters Club still going? He knows there was a couple of members from the Valleys and North area. Don't know if you know if that's still going.
Yeah, definitely. Colin Power founded the South Wales Cov City Supporters Club. It's still going. Steve Maloney, who was going to come on tonight but couldn't last minute, he's the chairman now, and Tom is the deputy chairman.
Cool.
But they're on Facebook. And we've got a WhatsApp group going. The only problem for us is South Wales is a big area. And so in terms of travelling up together, it would be a logistical nightmare to get everyone together on the same bus. But one thing we've been talking about is for the Watford away game, last game of the season, assuming we don't get tickets, meeting up in Cardiff and watching it there as a supporters club.
Oh, nice.
But it's great. The Irish Supporters Club was founded by a guy called Dave Brennan, and that was founded at the same time. And we always meet up with Dave when we come up to the Cov games. He flies across from Dublin for every game. He's a season ticket holder. He says it costs between 40 or 60 euros, and he's got no baggage. So he just comes across to every game, and it's helpful. His son is in Birmingham Uni. So the one time his wife was with him because they were picking the son up from uni at the same time, who's also a Cov fan as well.
Brilliant. And then Big Peter said that they're thinking of moving to the Cardigan Bay area, and he's asking about how long it takes to travel.
Oh, crikey, from Cardigan it would be a long, long way. I think this is true. I heard that Swansea is our furthest away game. It's a few miles longer than Middlesbrough, which I find incredible. But Cardigan is a lot further west than Swansea. I used to live in Swansea, and it takes me an hour and a quarter. We haven't even got to just about coming to the Severn Bridge. Whereas where I live now, I'm on it in about 12 minutes, no problem. So yeah, Cardigan's a long, long way. So it's about just over 2 hours for us to get from where I am. Cardigan, crikey, 4 or 5 hours, something like that.
Big Pete, you need to give that some thought before you move. That sounds like a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of comments about memories of games as well. So Anthony Pettifer said a memorable game for him was at Highfield Road with snowballs being thrown in the Norwich game between home and away fans, and we went on to win 5-4. That's one. Mark Rainbow said that a Spurs game during Christmas period 86-87, a fantastic game, better than the FA Cup final in his mind, but he doesn't recall them wearing the away kit.
No.
So, do you know what season that was, Claudio?
Yeah, it's that season.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
The game was obviously so good, it's put everything else out of memory. Paul Oakerman has said that a memorable game for him was the Coventry v Forest, the Cup win, 1990. Actually, talking about Forest, that's another game that comes to mind. That very first game when we came back to the CBS after, like, post just the emotion of coming back on that day. That's another one that sticks in the mind. Yeah, then we've got some chat about the sorry.
Well, you froze it.
I've jumped around to. Oh, did I? Sorry. It's because I've jumped around to read the comments for Steve. I just need to go back to the top of the comments now. So, all right, let's have a look. So Kevin Turner, but remember it's Ipswich v Millwall on Saturday lunchtime, so they aren't both winning, and Bubba kick off early as well. So that'll be interesting. That's going to let us know where we stand come 5:30, won't it? Cobb Coleman said we need to be quicker moving forward. He's got nervous after the result against the Saints. I think we've all spoken repeatedly, haven't we, about how much better we are when we play fast football. If we go up, do we buy the top scorer in the league from Swansea? Although there's no guarantee he will be the top of that role, but if he's out for a while, that might hinder that. Let me just bring this up from Cam. So Cam said, got to remember the game isn't just played on the pitch, it's winning the mind as well. In the running, getting the mindset right is just as important as anything else that they do with the ball. That's what can make the difference at these levels and in these situations. This is where the much maligned backroom staff will come into their own. Interestingly, Dennis Mortimer touched on that, didn't he, today when he was talking about that when you're coming towards the end of the season and you want to succeed with something, how the manager's role is just to remind the players about what they do well and just to sort of stick with it. So that's quite an interesting point. Dark Farts has said that you remember everything, Claudia, because you. Yeah.
He's not wrong.
No. Rich T said the Liverpool game at home, Highfield Road, Terry Gibson hat trick.
Yeah,
People keep on remembering things from before my time, so I'm not struggling with it. Buzz has put Darmstadt away, LA. So he's with you on Steve. He enjoyed that one. Frank Wood said the Everton game. I've done that one already, haven't I? From Mark Rainbow, sorry. Right, that's it for now then, Claudia, if you want to...
Yeah, well, let's look ahead then, shall we? So, huge game on Saturday. They're all huge now. But with 8 matches to go, Steve, what has impressed you most this season?
I think what Frank's done is he's taken pretty much the same squad as last season, made everyone 20% better. You know, you look at players like Thomas Asante, you know, we all knew he had lots of energy, but he's 20% better under Frank. So that improvement of existing players. And when we've brought people in, we haven't splashed loads of money, but the people we've brought in have been absolutely crucial. Rushworth has been a massive success. Onyeka, I mean, it was the first game he's lost, wasn't it, on Saturday after 6 straight wins. He looks exactly what we needed. And of course, Grimes, last year's January signing, have all supplanted what we already had, and it's just the improvement in existing players. Players like Eccles, his shooting from outside the box has improved massively, and you could see Frank Lampard's stamp all over that, can't you? So yeah, I think we were so entertaining in the first few months. It was great, and we were scoring freely. I think we needed to learn the lessons from that. The 2 recent away losses when we were 1-0 up at QPR. I kind of felt like the way the game was going, we should have shut up shop, but we kind of carried on going for it and ended up losing 2-1, and that happened twice. But I think Frank learned from that, and so it's great to see his development as a coach, as well as the way he's developed our players as well. It's been brilliant.
Now, this is a strange question I'm going to say to you, Steve, because obviously we're top of the league. But was anything that disappointed you this season?
Yeah, I've got to say, I like to feel I'm positive, but I pretty much lost the faith after Oxford. I just kept thinking, we've got the flu, we've got players out, and those that are playing aren't very well, like Milan was being sick in front of the away fans in that one match. We weren't right. And I just kept thinking, we'll come good, we're going to come good. And you keep saying it every single Saturday, and it wasn't happening. I thought the Birmingham performance wasn't bad. I think we caught them on a really good day, and they broke with lots of passion. I could see some shoots of improvement there, but I thought it's lined up for us to beat Oxford before a run of really important games. And we couldn't score against them. They had an XG of 0 in the second half. I would have substituted Rushworth. We didn't need a goalkeeper. We absolutely did not need a goalkeeper. The ball did not go out of their half in that second half. And I thought, if we can't score in that game, and we got Middlesbrough coming up next, and then we got away at West Brom and Sheffield United, we're going to really struggle. And I was close to losing the faith, thinking, we're playoffs. If lucky, we'll be playoffs. And then, of course, we string 6 straight wins together, typical Cov. So nothing to worry about in the end.
Well, I think that's what's impressed me the most is the recovery from where we were in little falls in the season. We've managed to pick ourselves up and get going again. Vicky, you had us in the top 6 anyway, like me. But what has impressed you this season? And of course, has there been anything that's disappointed you or you weren't happy about so far?
No, I think what's impressed me generally is just I think the professional nature of the way we've gone about this season. I think we all had realistic aspirations of like playoffs, but I think that just what the coaching team have done as a whole, because obviously like Frank's the spear point for that, but he's got a team and they're obviously all playing a role in that. What they've done to sort of galvanise this squad to sort of be top of the league for most of the season now. Like we're looking at a big percentage, aren't we, on our sort of resources against. I mean, really, we've got no job being top of the league, have we? Like if you look at the other teams with bigger resources. But we've done that, and I think that's what's impressed me. Just the way we've gone about our business this season is really professional. And I think the disappointment for me was that spell. I think that Steve alluded to. There was that spell where we had a bit of illness and a bit of injury, and you're thinking, we'll just get through that, and then we'll be okay. But then we sort of got through that, and there was a few more games before we really got back to it. And you're thinking, I really hope we haven't blown that, because I feel like it'll be such a disappointment after all the work we did early in the season. And then I've been like you, I'm impressed that since Middlesbrough, we've really just kicked on again and just gone back to that sort of like relentless pursuit of goals and points. Like it's just chipping away, just professional, like week after week, just getting the points you need to be top of the league. And I just think, I think when we look back, I think that in the moment you just sort of enjoy it, but I think when we look back, it's something to really be proud of about what we've achieved this season. If we go up as champion and for our club, I think looking back at it, something to be really proud of. So that's it, really.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is like the best season in my lifetime, really. I know we won the FA Cup in '87, but for consistency, the fact of being top of the league, had we not drawn and beat Oxford, we'd broken our record for being top of the table for the most amount of days. We were off the top for a few days, basically, until we beat Middlesbrough and went back on top again. The only disappointments really were the 3 sendings off, which were unnecessary, which probably unhinged us a little bit as well, with Thomas, BTA, and De Silva. And on top of that, the 2 away games. Well, I've said it plenty of times. The Norwich away, QPR away, where we're 1-0 up and we should have seen it out, we'd have had 6 points now. Playing the way we have been playing lately, we've been virtually there. So it's been an incredible season, and it's been nothing less than an incredible season. And for anybody moaning about little bits and bobs, please don't, because it's really no need. At the minute we're top of the league, and it's basically probably the 5th or 6th hardest league to win, and we're top of it with 8 matches to go. So it's an incredible season.
Yeah.
So looking ahead to Saturday, Steve, actually we'll do more comments first, Vicky. So I'll keep you going with the comments.
Cool. So you just sprung it on me then. Well, so there's some more memories of sort of games, and we've got people thinking about that now. So Gav to the ground has said Mansfield in the League Cup in 1975, we lost 2-0. Mansfield would do it. So that's obviously not a good memory. But unfortunately we've got quite a few of those in our locker, haven't we?
The guy who scored one of the goals ended up being our European scout.
Oh, really?
Yeah, during the Strachan era.
Brian Tully says Coventry 3, Chelsea 2, opening day of the 1978 season, Dion Dublin hat-trick. I remember that one as well, actually, Brian. Paul Stratton said, if we turn up and compete, our football wins the game. If we're offered a bit on Saturday, we could have problems. I think that's right, isn't it? I think on our day, we can beat anybody, really. One random memory at Highfield Road was sitting in my seat in the main stand to watch an away game on a big screen, February 1994 versus Newcastle at St James's Park, which 4 years and then we lost 4-0. We always used to lose 4-0 to Newcastle, didn't we? That's a memory that we just seem to always lose 4-0 to them.
Vicky, there was one game where we were away from home and I didn't go to it. And it may have been a cup game. And I'm sure it was 0-0. I parked the car. And then I nipped into a shop, came out, and we're 3 down or something. How's that happened? Literally, I thought, if I tuned into a different game here, it was 0-0 a minute ago. It could have been that game there, actually. It wouldn't surprise me.
Mark Webber said City versus Bidwell on Boxing Day 92. It was a foggy afternoon. You couldn't see the other side of the pitch 10 minutes before kick-off, but it cleared for the whistle. City destroyed them 3-0, and then the fog came back down. Frank Wood says, my best day this season was when we bought the stadium and then hammered QPR. That was unreal. I think that's going to be in a lot of people's memories forever, isn't it, really? That's special. We
spoke about that today, didn't we? We approached the ground and there's nobody there when we arrived for the Diamond Club. And I said, it's amazing that we walk up to this ground now and it's ours. It just feels different, doesn't it? I mean, Miles has said this about how it feels so different, and it truly does. Truly does.
I think a lot of the work they've done to sort of make it, like just the little touches that make it feel more like ours. Because it always just felt very much like, oh, you can rent this, but we're not going to make it anything to do with Coventry City. And I think there's lots of little touches that just make it feel like it's our home. So like sort of psychologically and visually, it's just so much better, isn't it?
Definitely.
Right. Mark Weber's got a lot of memories. Actually, this isn't a memory this time. Even during the blip, you could say the only poor performance were away at Norwich and QPR.
Exactly, yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Mark PUSB, I think we wouldn't be top if we hadn't brought Frank the Tank in when we did. He's really helped us to kick on again, hasn't he? I think that's been important. Steve Curry says, things that disappointed me this season is the amount of silly red cards that we've had. So you just said that, Claudio, haven't you? And that ultimately cost us points. De Silva for one, Thomas and BTA. I think probably costing points-wise, I think probably De Silva, I think we could have probably got 3 points at Southampton if it hadn't been for that. That's the most frustrating. Like the Thomas and the BTA ones probably had more effect on later games, didn't they? Because I don't think they actually changed like those results, but it just impacted us on later games. But I think De Silva actually impacted that actual game, didn't it? Which was frustrating. Anthony Pettifer, that 5-4 game was December 1977, and Jim Blythe saved a penalty near the end of the game. I should have that snowball one.
I missed that penalty save because I've said this on the History podcast. My dad had to open the pub up and he wouldn't trust anybody else to do it. So we used to have to leave 5 minutes before the end to beat the traffic. Not that there wasn't any traffic in those days. Beat the traffic to get back to Warwick so we could open the pub and we could hear the cheer. We thought, oh, what's happened there then? Then we heard a louder cheer. We thought, oh, we still don't know what's happened. And it's only when we sat in the car and listened to Sports Report, that one, and they announced it, that there's been a penalty save. We hadn't got a clue what had happened about 20 minutes afterwards.
Yeah. Someone with a very long name that I can't read properly with these glasses, sorry, said, yes, that Spurs game was one of the best. I remember climbing up the fence after one of our goals and getting my hands covered with a thick grease smeared on the top.
Yes. Anti-hooligan grease.
I wouldn't know. Susan Barney said, Frank the Tank has made a huge difference. Seems to have given Redoni and Grimes a new lease of life. I think that's right. We spoke, didn't we, quite a bit about how Grimes was just starting to look really fatigued, and I think that support from Frank alongside him is making a big difference. Mark Rainbow, like Frank Wood has just said, the QPR game will be one of those games you remember in 20 years, plus the game that plus the game that's to come. He's not saying it. Martin King, winning 3-0, then 4-0, then 5-0. That was a special stretch of games. Yeah. It was a crazy time of the season, wasn't it? You're just thinking, what's going on? This is not what I'm used to. Like, it's just like, what is going on?
The first of those games was the Birmingham game, and I remember that we were in Dillon's and we saw the team announced, and there was no Redoni, and we were all saying, "Where's the creativity going to come from? We're absolutely got no chance." So we won that 3-0, and then went away to Millwall 4-0, and then beat Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday 5-0. What do we know?
Yeah, exactly. I bumped into Jack on the way into the ground. He says, "Oh, Redoni's not playing," and I went, "Oh, shit, then 3-0 defeat incoming."
Everyone said in Dillon's, yeah.
Amazing.
Gibbo SBA said, evening everyone. Media speculation on Carl Rushworth attracting plenty of attention and being valued at 20 million. I shouldn't have had that point this afternoon, Claudio. It's not really helping with my.
I'm not surprised.
He will attract attention, won't he? He's quality, so it's just whether we can. Just have to hope that we can persuade him to come here.
Well, he sounds like he wants to stay, so that's a good sign. So it's all down to wages, isn't it, and all the rest of it.
Yeah. Mark Webber said, when was that game at Highfield Road against Sunderland when Gary Bennett lost it and we won something like 4-0? Do you remember that, Claudio?
Well, obviously the game where Gary Bennett got sent off was away, wasn't it, in the League Cup match, him and Speedy, and we had the replay and we won 5-0. And at the time, even though I had season tickets, my dad used to get 2 free tickets because we used to do the Sky Blue pools or the Sky Blue lottery. So I used to tend to sit with my mate over the other side. But that night we were sat right. I don't know if people remember, the Sky Blue stand was split with the perspex with the away fans on the other side of this perspex. I can't get the word out. Anyway, the perspex, I can't say it. Plastic, toughened plastic in between the home and away fans. And we were just, taking the mick big time. And it was getting very ugly. And we hammered them 5-0 in the replay. It was great. I'd actually forgotten that my mate had come with me that night. He was actually a Liverpool fan, actually. And he said he'd got a diary. And he ran me up once and says, "Oh, I found this old diary." I said, "Apparently I went to see you play Sunderland and it all got a bit feisty because we were right next to the away end." I thought I actually forgotten about it until he reminded me. I thought, "Yeah, you're right." But the free tickets were always by the away end. So it was always going to be like that every time. That's why we used to like going there. I was in my 20s then. I'm not up for it now, that's for sure. Can't run away now.
Now you want your porn sandwiches in your comfort, don't you?
That's right.
Steve, Sky Blue Bantam says, winning at Fleetwood and visiting Sid Little's pub, him from Little and Large fame, before the match and being served fish and chips by the man himself. Priceless. That's a that's what I love, just like random little stories like that. It's just great, isn't it?
Well, Sky Blue Bantam, I said this the other night, used to dress up as the Sky Blue Bantam.
Oh, really?
Back in the day, he's actually in a book. He was showing me on Saturday the photographs of him in the book, dressed up as a chicken or a pantom. It's not as good as an elephant, is
it? King Bolo said that his top 3 moments from the CBS are the 7-1 QPR, when the enemy played and we beat Sheffield United and beating Borough 3 a few weeks back. I think that probably is up there for most as the sort of top 3 this season. I think, yeah, definitely all up there for me as well. There's quite a lot of people commenting about the poor officiating this season. Quite a lot of people are saying, so Wayne Ghost has said, echoing the others, there's been some terrible officiating this season. Rubbish across the board, and it really has been an issue this season, hasn't it? I think.
Well, it's interesting what Dennis Mortimer said today when he says, when you get up to the Premier League, be prepared for players falling over, the refereeing. It seems a lot better in the Championship than Premier League. I'm thinking, you haven't watched many games, Dennis, because I'm telling you now, the refereeing is shocking.
Yeah, that rubbish falling over, but nothing has crept into the Championship, hasn't it? It's definitely a problem. Finn said, evening all, I won't be celebrating until it's mathematically won. Hope we bounce back on Saturday with a missed win. For that Sunderland game, I was sat with my brother-in-law in front of the boxes in the main stand. The view was pretty much pitch level. A great game, even with a less than ideal view. And Andrew Gray is...
They were ridiculous boxes. They were at pitch level as well.
I've seen photos. It looks like, you wouldn't better do anything very well, would you?
No.
Andrew Gray says, sports report, that takes me back to walking down Swan Lane at the end of a match with my granddad, going back to the car and getting the radio on for sports report. Lovely memories.
I don't know, because obviously, Steve, I don't think you're as old as me. I'm not sure how old you are. But I used to get really annoyed with Sports Report if we didn't get a mention high up the list. We'd have a good win at home, and they'll say something like, and Wolves have beaten West Brom 1-0. Newcastle have lost away at West Ham. They go, Crew Alexandra have drawn with Doncaster. Thinking, what about Coventry? We just beaten, I don't know, somebody half decent in the first division. Always felt like we never got a mention. It feels like that now, doesn't it?
Yeah, but when people start moaning, that they don't mention Cov as much as they should, this season I'm glad. I want to go. I don't want them to mention us. It just piles the pressure on. So I'm quite pleased if other teams get more of a mention anytime.
Well, it's going to increase the mention in Vicky, isn't it, with Frank? And if we do go up,
definitely, yeah.
I think get used to it. It'll be if we're in the Premier League next year, the first team who gets sat their manager, you can guarantee Frank will be on that list of managers' names. Yeah, definitely. So we're looking ahead to Saturday then. Selection problems.
Just quickly, Claudio. Claudio, just quickly before you move. Sorry, because there's a question here for you that's sort of more about memory. So just quickly to finish this off before we move on. So someone here is the same age as you, they think, and that's about right, isn't it? And they've said that their first game was Hull City in the FA Cup 1973. And what about you?
My first game was 1970, August the 8th or 9th, Blackpool away, pre-season friendly. But I can remember, I think I've mentioned this before, I always thought my first game was Newcastle or Burnley, and I was only 5 or 6. So when I looked at that season, those were our second and third last game from at home that season. So I think that's just where my memory really kicks in. Because apparently I went to see the Bayern Munich game. I've got no recollection of that whatsoever. Same season, So that was my first season. But it's towards the back end. I can always in my head I thought it was Newcastle or Burnley. And then when I looked at the programs when I was going through them, I thought, that's in the April. So obviously that's as far as I can really remember. But I do remember going to Blackpool. it was a family outing, which I've mentioned before, where my mum was moaning.
The mum was thrilled.
Yeah. Hey, Tony, you don't do anything with the family. And so we must go away for the weekend. So we went to Blackpool and Cov were playing. It's always the football. So there you go. But yeah, that's either 73. It's either the one we won 3-0 or the one we lost 1-0, which was a massive shock at the time. I think it was the one we won 3-0. So yes. Carry on, Vicky. Is there any? Oh, shall I carry on with this?
You move on now. Yeah, sorry.
I just saw tech support has entered the room. I don't know what's going on there. Have you seen at the bottom? Someone's fiddling around in the background. Looking ahead for Saturday then, selection, they're not problems, they're issue. It's an issue, isn't it? Because, he's got to change things around. So I'm going to start with who plays in that 3 up top because of Wright's injury. Now, obviously, he's not gone with the US team, which means he's not fit to play, because if he plays, we'll get fined big time because, the international team get precedence over the league football, basically. So if you're saying he's not fit to go to America to play, he's not fit to play Saturday, basically. Unless, of course, you're Alex Ferguson in the Man United days. They can do what they want. Ryan Giggs was never fit, was he, to play for Wales, apparently? So, Steve, and start with you. Who would you play the top 3 and why? Now, you can't do what we do a lot of the time, going, oh, maybe him, and you've picked 5 instead of 3. So if you're Frank, you got to pick 3 players to play up top.
So I think, the winners pick themselves, don't they? From Mason Clark and Sakamoto. That's, I think, nailed on, guaranteed. And then I think he's obviously, because of the right situation, he's going to go with Sims, who I think is better suited for an away game anyway. I think even if Wright was available, I'd go for Sims. So Mason Clark, Sakamoto, Sims.
That's easy enough, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'd be hard to disagree, to be honest, at the moment. Vicky, are you going on the same lines, are you? Or are you going to throw me a curveball?
No, sorry, I'm going to be boring and disagree. I think that's, yeah. I think EMC and Tats pretty much going to be the first choice, aren't they? I think in their respective positions. And I think if Wright's injured, then Sims starts. I'm with Steve. I'd always be leaning towards Sims in an away game such as that. Obviously, Frank doesn't always agree, but I think in a situation, if Wright's not playing, then you play Sims. So yeah, that would be the same for me. Sorry, no curveball, very boring.
So neither of you fancy Essay to come in and maybe do something?
I think Frank's lost a little bit of faith in Essay. I mean, everybody can see he's really talented and is definitely one for the future. But he's always playing like he's on trial. So the flicks, the losing of the ball in key positions. And I think at this stage of the season, I don't think Frank trusts him, to be honest. He's useful to come on, if Sakamoto's running out of legs and we want to give him a break, and especially if we're looking for something, we need a goal, he's really useful sub. But I just don't think Frank trusts him at this stage of the season to start.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. And of course, Vicky, our South Korean loanee, who's actually made the under-23 squad, I don't think Frank trust him at all, really, because he's not even made the squad for some of the games, has he? So I don't think he's going to be in the picture at all.
He's unlucky, really, isn't he? I think that probably when he came in, we were like we were in the depths of an injury crisis, weren't we, to a certain degree, and we needed some cover. And then everyone came back, and so now he's not even making the squad, is he? Because there's people above him. So it's a bit of a shame for him, really, because I guess he was probably hoping for more, and if we hadn't had so many players come back from injury, he might have sort of seen some minutes. But yeah, I think it's like Steve alluded to. At this time of the season, it's about results, isn't it? And you need to know what you're getting from the players you put on the pitch, and like your core 11, we know what we're getting. They might have like ups and downs in form, but you pretty much know what you're getting. The trouble with players like Yang and Essay, like they're still sort of finding their way, aren't they? And you can't guarantee what you're going to get like for 90 minutes, and it's not what we need at this time of the season. We just need results now to get over the line.
It's interesting what you said about SA, Steve, because it's almost like sometimes you think, has he got the message? We need to keep the ball, and we're trying to fight our way out of this league. But it's like you say, it's almost like he's showcasing his skills because he's hoping someone's going to buy him. But he's at a club already. And I'm not sure our fan base would have been that impressed had we spent 12 to 14 million on him when he was at Millwall. So I don't know what our fans are going to be thinking next season when we sign players, because unfortunately, if we're in the Premier League, it goes with the territory. You're going to be spending more than you probably need to, because that's the going rate for some of these players, isn't it?
The one player I would like to see come on if we need a goal is Markella. I thought we haven't seen much of him, obviously, but against Preston, when he came on, I thought, I've never heard of this guy, and I thought he was seriously impressive against Preston.
Well, it's direct, wasn't he? Straight down the wing, cross the ball. I love that.
Yeah.
I
think that's the thing, isn't it? You've got two players there that are up and coming. You've got SA and you've got Markella. Markella comes on and he does the job. He comes on, he's direct, and he gets the ball in the box, which is what you want. He's not like trying to overcomplicate things and like show off. He's just like, right, this is what I need to do, and that's the contrast between those two, and that's why I think he'll get them more football, because Frank can rely on him doing a job if he gets sent on, can't I?
And is our player, which is a big thing, isn't it? It's a big thing as far as I'm concerned. And I know some fans have said, oh, Tottenham might get upset or Palace might get upset if we don't play him. Well, I don't care. I really don't care about developing your player. If he's going to get us out of the league, great. But if he's not impressing enough, I really don't care.
Anyway, Spurs have got bigger worries than that to worry about, haven't they?
Might not even be playing them next season. So they got Forest. They got Forest at the weekend.
Yeah.
So right, I'm going to advertise this again. So, Sky Blue Fans TV, yes, presents an evening with two former players, not just two former players, but two former heroes, two captains, two leaders as part of our memorable journey. Now, it's Monday, 30th of March, 2026. Book now, get there early to get your table, ticket-only event, and it doesn't say it on there, but only £2.50 a ticket, and you get chucked into the raffle. It's at Greens, Abbey and Kenilworth, which, if anybody knows Kenilworth, it's at the top of the main street there. Although it's not Main Street, it's Warwick Road, isn't it? And in the Talisman Square. So it'd be a great evening. I mean, the property is owned by Craig Peed, ex-Coventry City player, so he'll be there as well. We're hoping to maybe get one, maybe two more if we can. If not, we're already getting them ready for the next events. It will be a great event, and it'd be fun. And it'd be good to have the Sky Blue Army there. Give them a cheer, because these two guys... I've got to tell you this story. I was lucky to get invited to when we won the League Two playoff. Only a few of us were told about to go to the Fizzy Moon. They're going to lock the doors, and all the team are going to come back there. And we thought, okay, let's go for it. So we sort of hid in the pub somewhere, and then came out. And the whole team. The funny thing is, the team first of all stopped at Murphy's and went in. And Jordan Shipley went in there first, and then they all came into the pub. It was a great evening, and Liam Kelly was propped up at the bar. Michael Dawes was with his wife, very sensible, sat down at the table all night. Mark Robbins the same. I wouldn't say he kept himself to himself, but the players are proper letting themselves go. It was a great evening. But Liam Kelly was at the bar, and I walked up to him, and I must admit I had a drink by then, and I actually went. Because of the song, it never gives the ball away. I said, Liam, not only do you never give the ball away, but you can actually pass a football. And he went, oh, thanks, mate, and just walked off. I meant it in a nice way. Then I went up to Tom Bayliss and said, this is great, you got a drink inside you. I said, Tom, you disappeared. Where were you in the first half, Tom? So that's probably the worst I've ever seen you play. But he actually said he got jelly legs. His legs had gone in the first half, and they calmed him down. And the second half, he was absolutely superb. So something was said. He realised he was struggling, in that first half, but it was just funny. And I got to say, there's a couple of players, Davis and Grimmer, who I kind of miss from that era because I thought they were just great lads. And Grimmer was superb, I thought. And and they're great. I mean, what was your memory, Steve, at that time?
Well, we were low down in the lower tier, and Jack Grimmer's goal, if you remember, it bent round, and we could actually see it bending and going straight into the net. We had a fantastic view of that. So that was a big memory. But recent memories, he captained the side in midweek Wycombe Wanderers that beat Cardiff away. So he's still going strong, and well done to him. Yeah,
he's a top guy. And I still remember Jordan Shipley, sorry, Vicky, scoring the goal, and his dad, they'd gone away. They'd gone on holiday, so he wasn't even there. So that was a shame, but it was great seeing Jordan score. I know it took a deflection, but it's still his goal. Sorry, Vicky, you were going to say?
No, I was going to say about Grimmer that he was someone I was disappointed when I mean, it's one of those things that you have to evolve, don't you, as a club, and we sort of progressing forward. But I was always sad to see him go because he was a favourite of mine.
So, if you got memories, especially around about that time, and of course League One promotion and all the rest of it, you know, please do come to the evening and join in. It'd be a really good night, really, really good night. At Greens at Kenilworth, £2.50 ticket, bargain. Right. Any comments, Vicky?
So Sky Blue Bantam has put, let's hope City's visit to the land of song is productive. Snoop Dogg will never replace Tom Jones. Kevin Turner says Borough versus Ipswich, same weekend as we play Blackburn, move to the Sunday so we can all watch them gift us promotion down the pub. It's like I said to you earlier, Claudia, though, isn't it? It's a shame they haven't done that the other way around so that we could potentially have won on the Sunday to like gift us house promotion and actually know ahead of time. So it's a shame they've done that the other way around. There's a fair few people talking about Yang and the fact that that's sort of a wasted transfer, really. Actually, we've covered the attacking sort of players for Saturday, but a few people are then talking about what we do at the back. So, PUSB Luke says, does Lati come back in and play?
Lukey's one of our Darmstadt guys.
Is he?
I'm covering that. I'm covering that after the midfield. We're working backwards.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Sorry. He's also said, attacking wise, even with Wright and Rudy out, we are spoilt. It is funny, isn't it? Because a few weeks ago we were worried, but once everyone comes back in, we have got some decent depth, haven't we? It's one of those sort of weird things. You get a few injuries and we have a panic, but now with sort of pretty much everyone there, it's looking strong again, isn't it? Mega Fingers says, does Steve remember when we beat Wolves 3-1 at Highfield Road with 51,000 in attendance? Do you remember that, Steve?
It's not
no.
When was that?
67. 67 we got promoted, yeah.
I was 1 year old, I think, then.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's someone that knows you and it's on their wind you up. Gav to the ground has said, SA is trying to impress too much and makes a hash of things, needs to keep a cool head. I think that's right, isn't it? It's just trying too much. Well, here we go, got a comment from Dawn, better read that, otherwise I'll be in trouble. Dawn said, it's great to see how many of our players have made it to the international call-ups, but it's a bit squeaky bum time that they come back without injuries. That's right, isn't it? Paul Stratton says 3 at the back, 5 in midfield, set up not to lose. This is going to be a tough game. I wonder if I'll see Norman Bassett again.
Well, no, because they've got the loan to buy, haven't they? Where he's gone on loan now, so he's never coming back. He's gone. He's gone. No. So okay then. Midfield trio. Now this is where it gets tricky with midfield defence because obviously Onyeka went off, didn't he? I believe. Did he go off? I'm sure he did. Did he go off? Can't remember.
He was substituted,
He was substituted, wasn't he? Now I think he's fine. First, I'm not going to start any rumours. So I'm basing this on the fact that Frank always goes 4-3-3. So
Yeah.
midfield trio. What do we do now? For me personally, I don't think the Eccles experiment worked on Saturday. I thought at home, yeah, he's got some legs on him, but there was no link up when somebody was sitting on Grimes. Now we're going to a place where they know how Grimes plays. He's there for 10 seasons. You know, they know what he's like. If they do a number on him, who do we bring in then to accept the ball? Because I don't think it works when we bring it out from defence. So the question is, I'll go you, Steve, first. Midfield trio. Who do you fancy?
Obviously, Grimes on Onyeka picked themselves. And I would go Eccles. And I think, if we need a goal, second half, you bring on Thomas Asante.
So
but
why
for me,
Eccles?
Eccles, because I just think we need to win the tackles. Let's win the midfield early doors for the first 50, 60 minutes. And I think we're more likely to do that with Eccles.
Okay, fair enough. Vicky?
I do think as well, just echoing what Steve said, that I think Eccles works better with Sims. I think they're better suited to playing together. I think that if you're playing Sims up front, then Eccles behind, that works better than Eccles and White. I think that was part of the problem. When White's there, there was very little presence up front, and so that was a problem. But so I'd be tempted to play Eccles as well. I think, the alternative is Asante. The trouble is then when you've got White injured, if you play Sims and Asante from the beginning, and one of them then picked up an injury or something, it's limiting options, isn't it? So I think really it makes it difficult to say that you play those two, because otherwise I probably would have done, because they did a great job last season, didn't they? Swansea. It was Sims and Asante last season, both got a goal each, and that was a good performance. But I just think that's a risk, isn't it, to play both of those? So I think, actually, I feel like I'm being boring now, so I'm going to agree with Steve again and go with Grimes, Onyeka and Eccles.
I think what that does as well, though, it makes Torp and Thomas Asante to come on. If we need goals, and you can see goals coming if we bring on Torp and Thomas Asante. So I think our bench is going to be great again.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because we're away from home. I don't think we set up 4-3-3. Southampton played 4-1-4-1 at the weekend, which I think is the first time they've done that this season. They don't normally load up the midfield like that, but they did it purposely to sit on Grimes. And I think last Saturday we probably should have changed something in the first half straight away when we could see he couldn't get free. Away from home is different. Southampton got a good home record. Swansea good home record at home. Would probably expect to have more of the ball, maybe. I don't know. But then they might think, hold on, let's play on the break. They got the Nick up front. It's a hard name to say, that is. He scored a lot of goals. He scored a lot of goals at home. He hasn't scored for the last 6 or 7 away from home. So all these goals are coming at home. And this is probably why they've got this good home record. Yet again, they've they've managed to find somebody to score goals, Swansea. They seem to do this, don't they? Pretty good recruitment there. So if they play with a bit more open, you'd like to think at home, we've always got a chance, even with Eccles in the team, to get behind them. Of course, with BTA in the team, it allows you to be more sort of adventurous going forward, doesn't it? But it does also leave you open because he's not really going to trap back. EMC doesn't really trap back. He does, but not with any vigor. It's almost like, I'm going to have to trap back, aren't I? Because that's my job. But so I think with Eccles, you are looking at maybe covering a bit more ground, doing the dirty work, perhaps. But it still worries me that we haven't got somebody in midfield that can still pick that ball up and play killer passes, which is what I think we're lacking. In general, basically. So when Rodoni's not in the team, not saying he can play a killer pass, but he comes looking for the ball, doesn't he? Which is great. But I don't think. Torp is decent at playing a ball. He's got a decent pass on him, but he's never played in that position in the number 10 apparently all season. So it's an interesting choice where he's going to come out. I think we'll see when they see the lineup. If he's starting with Eccles, you know what to expect, as a team. And I think if he starts with BTA or anybody else in the number 10 with a bit more flair, then you're thinking, hey up, we're going to have a go here tonight, early doors.
Hey up.
I'll be amazed if he goes 3 at the back with wing backs, because I don't think there's any need to. It's Swansea.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll let you do the comments, Vicky.
Cool. Right, one sec. Right, so King Bolo said, what game do you think will be the one where we hopefully get mathematical confirmation?
Difficult. I think we can say after this weekend, possibly.
Yeah. I thought it might be Sheffield Wednesday, but I think the loss to Southampton's probably just shifted it slightly. But yeah, we'll have to say. Actually, this is an interesting question from Finn. Will Brow ever get another game? He seems to have gone off the. Did you say he had a rib injury?
Broken ribs.
Yeah.
Ribs.
Yeah. So he's when we had the players' evening that he came to, I think he was only on the grass then, so he's been struggling. But to be honest, I expect to see more of him before the injury, but it hasn't happened. But it's interesting because that evening they did talk a lot about how it is to settle in, and it's hard for some players to settle in when they've only moved 100 miles. You know.
Yeah, never mind a different country. Yeah.
Yeah, there was the guy at Oxford who moved to, was it West Ham, and he was homesick or something. He'd moved, and he had to move back just down the road. It was a top player for Oxford. I can't remember his name now, but you move in a different country, different language. Brown speaks a very little English, although you can understand it. It's tough, isn't it? So it takes a while. I think Haji Wright struggled, to be honest, when he first moved here.
Yeah.
Whereas Grimes couldn't wait to get away from Swansea because his in-laws had just moved down there, hadn't he?
That's hilarious, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
That's the first thing he's going to have to do, is go and visit the in-laws, I suppose. It's bizarre, isn't it?
So Paula Collins says, I was 8 years old and my grandfather took me to the 67 Wolves game. Don't remember much other than being on his shoulder so I could say. Oh, nice memory. Paul Stratton, plan B, bypass Grimes, game win by the time they work it out, 4 in midfield. PSB Luke says, Eccles for me, need to win the midfield battle. Sorry, comments gone weird out. Frank Wood says, Grimes or Nickett and BTA, let's win the game early. So I suppose that's the question, isn't it? Like, do we go at it like West Brom away, try and get something done early and then just see the game out? It's there's all these different options, isn't there?
And I think if we score early, and certainly if we go 2, their season's over. If they lose Saturday, their season is totally over. So, yeah, that's a fair point.
Mad Frank's put Joey Beecham. I think that must be
that's the player. That's the player who tragically died quite young, actually. He went to, he was a hero at Oxford and got a really good move and just couldn't handle it. Had to move back, homesick. Really struggled.
Sean McLaughlin said, whatever the weather, we're going to get enough points this season to reach the Premier League. Play up Sky Blues, City till I die. PUSB Luke's also said, talking about like a midfielder and a sort of pass that they could put someone like Hamer is what we're missing.
Good shout.
And a few people are just talking about Brow and his missing injury. But yeah, if you want to move on to the next topic, Claudio.
Well, defence. We could have a fit Bobby Thomas. I mean, by all accounts, he's fit to be in the squad on Saturday. Well, that was what they were aiming for. But what do we do, Steve? Do we have a complete overhaul of the 2 central defenders with Kitchen and Wolford? I don't think they overly impressed on Saturday. Both the marking was so shoddy on those goals. Is it a complete overhaul? 1 in, 1 out, 2 out, 2 in, none in. Keep the 2. What do you reckon?
Well, I think, when Bobby got suspended last time, Frank brought him straight back in. And I think he'll do the same again. He's our best defender. So I think Bobby goes straight into the starting lineup. And yeah, Kitchen's positioning on Saturday sometimes wasn't great, but he was a goal threat, just like Bobby. So I'd go with the pairing that we started the season off so well with, really, which is Bobby and Liam Kitchen.
Interesting. Obviously, you're going to keep the fullbacks.
Yeah. I think you're right. I thought Wolfie looked a bit lost second half Saturday. I wasn't massively impressed with him. Lati's done okay, hasn't he, when he was needed? But no, I think Bobby and Liam for me.
So, Vicky, Kitchen has joined the 100 Club now, hasn't he? And
Yeah,
he's had an up and down season, though, hasn't he? I mean, he's gone from vice captain. In fact, he was captain. Vice captain to fourth choice defender this season, and now he's sort of back in the team again. It's a bizarre season he's had. I think he took the punishment for QPR away. I think Frank gave him a harsh lesson in how you keep your places by not cocking things up, basically. So, where do you sit on the two central defenders? Because obviously the fullbacks pick themselves, don't they?
Yeah. At the minute, I mean, De Silva, who suddenly turned into sort of like Prima Ashley Cole or something. I don't know. You just can't drop him, can you, at the minute? And Milan as well on the other side. So I think, it's weird with Kitchen. He's had a bit of a weird career with us overall, hasn't he? It's been very up and down. Like he's had ups and downs throughout, really, sort of coming in and out, trying to fight for his place. I think primarily just like maybe be different to Steve because I was going to have exactly the same 11. I think I'd go Thomas and Lati. Personally, I think Lati has just been really solid when called upon this season, and I think he deserves his spot back. And I think you bring Thomas in as well. I think so that it'd be Bobby and Lati for me. I think the thing with Wolfenden were two things. One, he just fluffed that attempted clearance for the first goal entirely, which was frustrating. But then he just played down too much. When he was going forward with the ball, he was just too slow. You know, we've complained about that with all of the defenders, but I just found that he was even more so. And then a couple of times he just sort of went to pass to Milan, but just didn't even hit it hard enough. So their player picked it up and just a bit sloppy. And I just think we ain't got time for that now. We need solid performances. So yeah, I'd go Bobby and Lati.
So if you if you were Frank, then Vicky, is that how you'd break the news to Wolfenden and Kitchen? How would you break the news? Would you say exactly like that?
What, you're not reliable enough?
Yeah. You're too slow. You're not reliable enough. It's difficult because Lati will say, obviously, he'll say, well, every time I've played, I'm not lost.
Yeah.
The team have not lost. So there's his argument straight away. So he's obviously doing something right. Kitchen will say, well, I've been around most of the season and I've played in a lot of games where we've won.
Yeah.
It's not been all down to me, has it?
I just think, with Lati, for me, he brings a calmness. I think he's the most defensive defender that we've got. Like he actually, to me, he looks like he's somebody that really enjoys just defending. Like when I'm watching him, because obviously where I sit, when we're defending that goal at that end, he's right in front of me, and you just watch the way he marshals everything. So to me, people talk about things like his height and maybe his pace and things, but for me, he just reads the defensive line well, and he just gives us that bit of stability. And I just think the others might have other attributes that are better, but I think they also have all got rash mistakes in them, whereas I just feel like he's just calmer, and sometimes that's just helpful. And I think so. That's why. I mean, so I'm glad I don't have to tell that to. I mean, I'd be rubbish in Frank's job. Having to tell somebody they're not playing, I don't know how you do that, because you don't like confrontation, don't like upsetting people. So I don't know how I tell people you're not in the team. Yeah. I'd be sending you, Claudio. I'd be like, Claudio, you're gonna have to go and tell them that they're not playing.
You'd be like, they'll be going, Gaffer, there's 13 players picked. I'll decide amongst yourselves who's not playing. I can't do it. Yeah. Do you want to do some more comments?
Cool. Right. Suzanne Barney said, we need to defend the near post, as that's where we let them in. We've got a bit bad at that in recent weeks, haven't we? Sorry, it's not showing the next comment for some reason. So, Carl O'Connor said, if Middlesbrough drop points in Ipswich and Millwall draw, I think Thomas won't play. Okay. Do you think we leave it that late in the day then? Do you think we wait and see how results pan out? What do you think about that?
I'm trying to think. Well, possibly. If we don't need him, we don't play him. We've got another 2 weeks to rest, haven't we? We've got international breaks. Is it worth it? That's the key, isn't it?
Yeah. But Uncle Jonga said, don't trust Wolfie at all. He's so slow on the ball, potentially all over the place too, when it comes to staying with his man. Finn said, if I get it up, was never a big Lati fan, but since he came back, he's been brilliant. Wayne Ghost has put Bobby and Lati for me. Paul Stratton says, with Wolfie out, with Wolfie out ball against Southampton, Bobby comes straight back in with Lati, with enablers to defend again. Martin King, yes, indeed, De Silva's been challenging it in that Ashley goal. Uncle Jonga, Lati brings a calmness to the defence. PSUB Luke, Wolfie hasn't done a lot wrong. Lati runs like he's on quicksand, and he's playing against the top league. Wolfie and Kitch for me. Oh, so he's gone completely different then. So Wolfie and Kitch, that's interesting. Suzanne Barney said, in Wolfie's defence, there wasn't anyone to pass to, as no one wanted the ball.
Good comment.
Wayne Ghost said, Lati communicates well and helps organise the defence. Mark Rainbow said, Kitchen might suit the competition against that player.
Podnik, that's it.
Podnik.
Sean McLaughlin said, yeah, Vic, Bobby and Lati. Oh, yeah. Sorry, that's me. Yeah. I thought that was another player then. He said, yes, Vic, Bobby and Lati all day long, so he's agreeing. Lati has got to come in with Wolfie. Or Thomas, drop Kitch, that's Frank Wood. Paul Collins, I think 2 big lads at the back for the him. Mark Cunningham, Bobby and Lati at the back. There's quite a lot of support for Lati actually. Mark Rainbow, Lati is our best defender but can't run, can't pass, and randomly falls over at key moments. Come on, Mark. Sky Blue Bantam, that Wolves game in 67 is etched in my memory. Ran onto the pitch when we scored our second.
11 kids got given the shirts that night.
Did they?
The players gave 11 their shirts. In those days, you only had the one shirt pretty much. So there'd be 11 kids out there who got the shirts. I know somebody's got one of them, but I don't know if it's of that night. But he's definitely got Mick Kearns' shirt from that season, or one of them. But I'm not sure if it's the one from the Wolves game. But yeah, so I said, I bet the parents got them and thought, what the hell's this? And use them as a dishcloth or something, or probably not realising what it is,
Yeah.
But you kind of wish they didn't do that. They probably should have kept them. I don't know. It's yeah. Sorry, Vicky. Keep going.
That's fine. The last one now. So Rob said it has to be Bobby and Kitch on Saturday. Not there's a bit of the Kiefer Moore feel about him. And I suppose we all saw what happened at Wrexham when Wolfie was that Wolfie and Kitch in that game. It was, wasn't it? So
yeah, and I think the goal we conceded on Saturday, I think it's the first one, wasn't it, where he didn't get his foot around the player at all. It was just a bit weak. I mean, the guy up front for Southampton was just a big lump, wasn't he? Really, he's nothing special. He didn't cope with him at all very well. So I think he'll go with Thomas and Kitchen if Thomas is definitely fit. If not, I can see Lati coming back in with Kitchen, but it's all down to Thomas and if he trusts him enough to be fit enough. I think 2 fullbacks stay the same. Obviously, player of the season is in goal, isn't he? But I think whereas the front line is easy, I think straight swap Sims for right. The midfield is the hardest. Who do we play? I think it would just be down to how the management team want to take on this game. By the scruff of the neck, you'll find it'd be a forward in there. if it's to be a bit more sort of, I don't know, chilled and relaxed and just soak up pressure, it'll be Eccles, I think. But the trouble is, Frank occasionally throws a bit of a curveball, doesn't he? Because there'll be players who are injured that you know nothing about. And so hopefully that won't happen. So today we went, score predictions then, Steve. What do you think?
We don't do very well in South Wales, unfortunately. I know we won 2-0 in Swansea last year, but we're better than them. We need to turn up. Let's say 2-0 Cov.
Oh, I like that. Vicky?
Same as last year.
We broke the hoodoo last year, didn't we? So
yeah, I think 1-0. I think it'll be tight, but I think we can nick it 1-0.
Yeah, I think tight's the word. They didn't look very good against Wrexham when they played them. They lost 2-0. I'm trying to think. Recently, they're not exactly exciting, are they? They're fairly dull as a team. So whenever I've seen them, it's one of those teams. I don't know what it is. Like get a championship game live, and I see Swansea. I hope there's no Swansea fans watching this. I just think just mid-table. The trouble is, mid-table can be dangerous, can't it? Sometimes when they're not. I mean, and like you're saying, Steve, even if they go to the 8 teams into the playoffs next season, they're virtually out of the running now. That as well, because I think they're about 5 points behind 8th already. With
8.
5 points behind with only 8 games left. They're almost, if it was the top 8, they're almost out of it. It didn't seem like a lot, but when you look at the teams above them, they'd struggle to get in there now. So,
and that's why I'm thinking
we've got to win it. We've got to win it, haven't we?
Let's grind them down a bit, beat them in midfield, and then when everyone gets tired, who wants it the most? I think we come out on top there, especially if we're bringing on flair like Victor Torp and Thomas Asante.
I fancy a 2-1. I don't fancy a clean sheet, but I fancy a 2-1. I fancy going 2 up, and then that last 10 minutes where, oh no, we're going to blow it away. And after all the results have gone our way, like it did the other week, I've got to say, Steve, when you're in the Cov end and you're playing a team from Wales and you're shouting with your strong Welsh accent, the people turn around and go, "Oi, get in your own end."
No, he seems to have got away with it. It's I don't know. I think I took that flag actually not last year. I didn't go last year, the year before. So I caught in both sides, don't beat me up. I'm Welsh, but I'm also Cov.
It's brilliant. Well, a friend of mine, Mark, who was out around the town in Coventry on Saturday night, started sending me WhatsApp messages and photos of Danish Cov City fans he was out with. So they come over from Denmark to watch the game. So all over the place. Yeah.
Do you remember Dillon's have got a pub now in Swansea called the Swansea Jack?
Oh, yes, they have, haven't they?
Yeah, so we're thinking of looking for that afterwards.
Well, I think the tavern are taking the coach to there before the game. So they've arranged it. I think the police have allowed it. It could be interesting. I wouldn't want to go afterwards. Maybe beforehand might be safer. That will be interesting. Now, today we went to so I'm saying 2-1. You're saying 2-0, Steve. Vicky, what did you say? Just a 1-0.
1-0.
Today we did the Diamond Club, me and Vicky, and it was excellent. We had a great day. Also speaking was Nicola Ibbotson, pretty much second in command to Doug King. Now, Vicky, obviously you're a woman, and you must have been highly impressed. I mean, I was, by how she spoke, how she came across. What did you make of her and that speech she did, which I thought was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I was impressed. It's the first time I've seen her or heard her talk directly, and I thought I was impressed. I thought she spoke well. I thought she gives off the vibe of actually understanding a bit about what Coventry City is all about, which isn't always the case, is it? When you bring people in that are successful, there's always a worry about whether they'll actually still remember what's important to the roots of a club. But it felt like she did get that. So, yeah, it was like a positive talk about where they're looking to try and progress, and it just makes you feel like the club's in some good hands with people that know what they're doing and they've got the best interests of the club behind them. So yeah, I was really impressed. I thought she spoke well, and it was an interesting insight into what they're trying to do.
Also, I thought it was impressive that they were talking about the Coventry's history and all the industries, and they got the new lounge is going to be the watchmakers, which I didn't realise. Obviously, I'm not from the city, but there was this history of watchmaking in Coventry, and we kind of thought that's interesting. Though, why wouldn't they call it after something which people recognise more, like the car industry, or obviously the bikes, the cycle, singers, and all that? And then we thought, well, maybe she gave the impression that it's going to build up, isn't it? Where they're doing this first, and then there's going to be something else named after something else. I think they look at the whole behind the scenes, and it sounded quite exciting, didn't it? What they got in mind. And of course,
it did make you sort of feel like I sort of felt like sort of really positive. Like she had a way of making you sort of feel like, yeah, we're going to do it. Like it's really positive. She's got a good demeanour about her, and so you can imagine that she does that with her team of staff. And I sort of felt, I feel quite emotional. I feel like, yeah, we've really got like something going on here, and yeah, on a really decent upward trajectory. It's exciting times.
And also, she mentioned that because Joe Elliott asked about the money from the Premier League, and she's saying how they're getting like creating 30 million compared to 150 million if you get into the Premier League. That's the difference in the money, but that isn't always guaranteed because there's certain criteria, which obviously every club will meet. So there's stuff going on in the background now. As she hinted, they've already done this twice before to get things for readiness for the Premier League. If you remember, Luton had to redesign the ground one stand because they couldn't play any home games at the start of the season. So it's obvious that they're trying to do things. I was really impressed. I've spoken to her 2 or 3 times now, and always impressed me. And the club shop, Steve, which she wasn't supposed to talk about, but it sounds like it's on 2 levels. Basically, that's what it sounds like, and it sounds like it's going to be massive.
Yeah.
I got the impression, Vicky, that there's going to be other stuff thrown in as well, by the sounds of things. So it'd be interesting.
Yeah, it made it sound like it's going to be a sort of an experience rather than you don't just go and buy a shirt. You go in, and it felt like it was going to be more of a whole. I suppose it's what they're looking to do, isn't it? It's about making every time you touch the CBS, like it's a memorable experience. That's what it sort of felt like, that they're looking to do that with the club shop as well. So yeah, it's really exciting.
Do you want to read some more comments?
Cool. Fan Hunter said, Swansea haven't lost at home this year. Last defeat at home was December. It's going to be a tough game. In time for us to beat them then. Paul Collins said, my friend's dad did a Welsh commentary for the 87 Cup final. Oh, interesting. Mark Rainbow, could this be our 7th double of the season?
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Ian Pomelot said, she's a daughter-in-law of the late Liz Dawn, Vivid Duckworth. Is that Nicola Ibbotson he's talking about?
Yeah,
that's
interesting.
Yeah. Anthony Pettifer said, I thought Nicola's speech was excellent, and the ties between the club and Coventry, the improvements to the shop, etc., the watchmakers tie-in, etc., the blitz, the fact that people are proud to be from Cov. Yeah. Appears to be Luke. Exciting that the club shop is being made bigger. Heard it's going to be 2 stories and have a museum, etc. Interesting. Paula Collins. Lots of Cov Welsh fans because of the Kersey Colliery. That's another link, isn't it? So some more history. Mark PUSB, going to be a museum in there, I think. Anthony Pettifer. The club shop and the merchandise to have wilder appeal. Actually, she did mention that, didn't she? She did talk about like going more global and having fans that are like a global like appeal. I mean, it's just a different world, isn't it? Once you get to the Premier League and the sort of avenues that you can just explore like globally, and that's what I suppose what was exciting. She seems ready for that. Like they're ready, aren't they? They've got contacts. They're ready for that global stage. Whereas if you like going back a few years and like we wouldn't be ready for that. We had no real like preparation for that. So we're in such a much better place, aren't we? Paul Stratton, this will be great for the club. Let's get the job done first, get there, and then we can enjoy everything promotion brings. PUSB the pre-season in Japan, that'd be something.
I'm up for that.
Yeah. Well, that's it for now. Then, Claudia.
Interesting, because somebody, I think Joe Elliott asked about the kit for next season, and
that was an interesting point, wasn't it?
Yeah, she said there's a criteria, Steve, for the kit for Championship to Premier League. So they're basically having to design a kit for both divisions or both leagues, Premier League and the Championship, because certain things have to be met. I presume if you get up to the Premier League, I don't know what they are, but be interesting. I'm not sure about the claret and blue she was talking about. I was just joking. So, in reference to that, then, if your choice of kit, then, Steve, next season, say we are in the Premier League, what would you like us to see us play in?
I think I'd like to go back to the stripes. You know, I thought this year's kit was too similar to the previous year, to be honest. And I know we always mix in the stripes every now and again, and I'd like to see us back in the stripes.
Interesting. Do you like thick stripes, thin stripes, pinstripes?
I think this is pretty even. I quite like this one.
Yeah, interesting.
Top, is it? Do you like this one?
Yeah,
but as long as we don't go like template top, that would be the worst thing out.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get that with Hummel. Although other clubs who play with the Hummel kits have got template kits. It's only us. I think for Borough, they did the old traditional with the band, didn't they? The white band across the chest. That was with Hummel, and they've changed now, haven't they? But I personally, it's interesting because for years I'd see other teams playing sky blue and think, why does their sky blue kit look always better than ours? It didn't matter whether it was Uruguay, even Man City, Lazio, Argentina with the stripes. For me, the Argentinian kit, Argentina have got the best kit in the world as far as I'm concerned. And if we had to come up with something like that, that'd be amazing, I reckon. As long as there are plenty of sky blue. So maybe keep the socks sky blue as well, even the shorts, I don't know. But it's gonna, I think stripes is an interesting one because people love them or they don't like them. It's simple as that. And I know there are traditionalists who want an all sky blue strip. What about if they have a kit similar to what they went up with when they first went up the first time? So it's plain sky blue, just a bit of navy on there and the white collar. But
just think we've had two relatively plain sky blue tops now this season and last. Time for stripes for me.
Oh, Vicky, you're the fashion expert of our team here.
I'm not sure that I am, but anyway, I do like stripes actually, but I prefer the thinner stripes. I'm like that one, the one that Steve's wearing. I always find those stripes are a bit too thick for my preference. So I prefer the thinner stripe ones. So I wouldn't be adverse to stripes again, but I'd prefer them to be thinner.
So you want stripes as well. I also want a kit that the shorts, the sky blue on the shorts match the actual top.
Yeah.
There's too many times, even with old kits, for some reason the shorts will have a darker or lighter and it's meant to be the same sky blue. It used to really irritate me, that bit.
Yeah.
So, maybe a man in his 60s shouldn't be wearing the full kit anyway.
I like your point about I like
Sorry.
your point about the retro with the like the first, like when we got promoted back in the 60s to the obviously first division and back in then. That's a nice idea, like a throwback to being a bit retro. I quite like that as an idea.
Yeah, well, it's our colours, isn't it? At the end of the day, I know.
Yeah.
Be interesting how they decide to change it to stripes, because although when we first played in the Football League in 1919-20, we wore stripes. That was our kit, sky blue and white stripes. So it is a kind of part of our tradition. The odd part of our tradition was in the 50s when we played in white, and we had like a navy collar, a V-neck, and on the cuffs as well, which is weird. So I don't know how that came into being. Right, I'm going to let you read some more comments, I think.
Okay. Oh, one sec. Right, so Jane Gatterley said, love the kits of the last 2 seasons, hate the stripes. I think the stripes are clearly very Marmite from the comments. People do either like them or hate them. Steve won't have to buy one then. PUSB Luke, I don't care what it looks like. I'll be getting that lion on my sleeve. We should go back to the Ian Wallace kit, which they did for Good Chris Homer days to show we are back. Mark Rainbow, I'd like to see another version of the Admiral style 70s again. Sky blue and white stripes is too much of a callback to the relegation season.
Good point.
Anthony Pettifer, the kit should celebrate Coventry loud and proud so people have no doubt who we are when they watch us live on TV, celebrate our history. Ian Primnott, we were relegated in the Argentina kit.
Yep.
Rich T, also not a fan of the stripes. He agrees with you, Claudio. Retro plain sky blue and navy collar. Carla Connors put the 94-95 home kit is the best. Oh. Sorry, one sec. Frank Word, the 67-68 kit should be the template for the kit when we go up. And Mark Rainbow said that it looks like a green and black away shirt again. Uncle Jonga, do you think the team will ever play a match in the recently released worst kit of all time? I assume he's talking about the brown one. Do you think they're going to play the brown one this season?
It's a weird one, because I thought if they brought a kit out, they had to use it. But obviously, it just seems a random thing to do then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
they could have waited until next season, couldn't they? Made it like third kit for next season or something. It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
And actually,
they've not played many games in the third kit anyway this season.
And there is a rule about that, isn't there? They're going to have to play some more games than that. There is a rule about how many they have to play the third. So I don't know how they're going to fit the brown one in.
Could wear it on Saturday. Either.
Reese has said, I think the 87 style kit would be great for the return to the Premier League. Paul Okerman said, don't like stripes, personal opinion, of course. There's definitely a split, like people who like stripes and people that don't. There's Michael Terry said, same kit as 67 when we got promoted to Division 1. Martin King, any thoughts on who would be our primary sponsor on our Premier League kit?
Well, this is something that Nicola alluded to about what comes with going up globally, you're bringing in other people. Huge companies will want to be involved because their name's going to be branded all around the world. We're seeing it as a promotion we've been desperate for seasons, but the club will see it as something bigger than that because of the finances that can generate. So where some of us might not like it, i.e., TV games and all that, it's all part of it. It's the only way the club can grow.
Definitely. Sean McLaughlin said, although the stripes are Marmite, I actually really like the kit. Mark Rainbow said, anyone want to see the return of the Tesco carrier bag shirt? No, we definitely don't want that, do we?
Awful shirt.
Rich T said, keep home kit traditional and experiment with the away kit. It's an interesting one. Anthony Pettifer, Claudio, do not worry about wearing your kit in the 60s. You'll soon be in your pants for promotion.
I know.
That's a worry, isn't it? Cam said, kit-wise, bring back something as bold as the Talbot T kit. It'd be quite nice to go retro, wouldn't it? I think that will sort of make a bit of a statement about like we're back and yeah.
It's difficult because they have
And
to
then
choose a design before Christmas. I think it all starts happening. So yeah.
Yeah. And then so just the last comment, Martin King thinking an airline because of the sky blue. Oh yeah, that's an interesting for sponsor.
So final topic tonight before we wrap it up. Steve, obviously the games are getting changed because of TV and not much you can do about it. You know, people say, oh, Sky are ruling it now. They're doing what they want. The fans don't count. But we're all trying to get into the top flight because the money it's generated through people wanting to watch football on telly. And there's no getting away from that now. Match ticket sales, whereas in the Championship are important, in the Premier League, not so important, because obviously you're getting millions from TV. So what are your thoughts on the way the games are changing? I just think it's just the way it is and we just have to live with it, but I'm not happy. Where do you stand on it?
Yeah, it's the price of success, isn't it? Like you say, the money comes in from the television. So you have to, that they pay the money, they makes the choices. So yeah, I think it's worse for people that are relatively local, you know, on work nights and things like that. People like me in midweek, I need my sleep. I struggle to get up for a midweek game. I got to take the following day off, you know. But no, if that's what we want, which is Premier League, that is part and parcel of it, and you've got to accept it because we'll accept the money.
Yeah, well, Vicky, I don't care. I will go whichever time it is. It doesn't really affect me, but I'm lucky, especially because my son's now 25, so it doesn't really matter, does it? It's if you haven't got young kids and all that. But in saying that, when I was younger, I went all the time. Didn't matter school night or not a school night. My old man used to take me. So looking ahead, then there's not a lot we can do. I suppose that before Christmas, it's not so bad because they lay out the fixtures and you know, and there's nothing really, it's all quite sensible. And I know next season, if we're in the Premier League, we're going to get a lot of Sundays and we're going to get maybe a few Mondays and some odd ones on a Saturday because the team's playing in Europe. So if somebody plays in the Champions League on a Wednesday, we could be getting, if we're playing them on a Saturday, we could be getting a 5:30, 8 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit inconvenient for some fans, and some fans won't care because they can get to the game anyway. So where do you stand then on the TV side of things?
Yeah, it's just something that's obviously crept into the game, didn't it? And I think like Steve's alluded to, that's where the money comes from, and it's what everyone's aiming for. And so unfortunately, whilst it's frustrating, I don't think anyone likes it. But if you want your club to be successful, like when we were sat in League Two and like floundering around, we weren't on the TV. Like our games could just be our games, couldn't they? The price of success is that you will be on the TV more. So if you want success, you have to sort of just take it on the chin to a degree. And it's frustrating and it affects people, doesn't it? And I think like you're right. When it's before Christmas and you sort of they say, well, this is the fixtures up until Christmas. So we know, didn't we, what our games were going to be up until Christmas. That was okay. It's the second half, so it's only a couple of weeks till like Blackburn away, and so now people are going to work out the arrangements around that at quite short notice, and that just gets a bit frustrating, doesn't it? Like I know, like Jack commented in the comments earlier that he's on annual leave that week, so it doesn't make so much difference for him. But there'll be people who've got to work out what they're going to do about like children, shifts, and all sorts of things. And when there's only a couple of weeks' notice, that's a bit of a pain. So I think, but Sky are never going to agree to sort of forecasting it for the whole season because they want to see what teams are doing, aren't they? They don't want to say, because they probably wouldn't have predicted last August that, for example, we would like be playing. I don't know, some of our games will be games they'd want to be showing because they probably think it would be nothing to play for. So they're never going to agree at the beginning of the season. So there's no way around it, because the only way that makes it better for fans is to give you lots of notice. But Sky are never going to agree to that because they want to make sure the games are relevant. So I guess, unfortunately, it's just it's a natural consequence of success, isn't it? And if you want the success, you have to just take it on the chin. And we just have a little grumble about it every now and again.
I'm going to put this comment up because I noticed it from Paul Stratton saying, "Oh, this is totally irrelevant at the moment. We are not there yet, and it's all totally premature. Let's get there first." But it kind of is, because we've got 7 games in a row that have been moved, or they're on television for whatever reason. So it kind of affects you this season.
It's not just a Premier League issue, is it? It's a Championship and Premier League. Like Sky, Sky are taking over more and more Championship games, aren't they? They've agreed to show more Championship football, so it is affecting us more and more at either level.
It'd be interesting. I'm like I said, it doesn't really affect me, but I know some people it will do. And for you, Steve, I mean, midweek. I mean, I suppose Friday wouldn't be so bad, would it? If it's a Friday game at home late.
That's true. It's not too bad. I quite like the 12:30s on a Saturday, because you get back at a reasonable hour, which is pretty good. And when it's an away game, with this season's TV rules, you can get it on the red button, which is good.
Maybe, I mean, it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. I know people are desperate to see some games on Saturdays at 3 p.m. and they can't unless they find, obviously, other means of doing it. But it's so annoying that everything can be seen abroad at 3 p.m. and we can't here. And I think football's that popular now that fans will still go. I'm not going to, if our game's on telly at 3 p.m. and we're at home at 3 p.m., I'm still going to go.
Yeah.
I'm not going to not go, but I know there might be some people who won't. If you've bought a ticket, you're still going to go, surely. I thought. So I'm just seeing this. Everybody ignore that comment. I'll let you read some more comments, Vicky, then we can wrap it up, I think.
Cool. All right, let's have a look. Actually, there's not any more comments because Mark Rivers has asked this. So Mark said, did Nicola say anything about avoiding certain sources of sponsorship, such as gambling or crypto? She didn't specifically, did she? I think it wasn't. I mean, she obviously had a limited time, so she couldn't talk in great depth about anything. It was more an overview, wasn't it, about what they're looking to do? And so no, Mark, she didn't specifically say anything. But there's more rules about that, anyways.
Yeah.
The powers that be. Right, Tully's. I've got Mrs. Banks tickets for the Friday night of the Blackburn game. I'll be watching her twerk rather than Lati. I don't know who Ms. Banks is. Do you know who that is? I don't know. I'm wondering now whether that's something dodgy or not. But she's going to be twerking apparently. So, yeah. Wasn't that one? Paul Collins put JetBlue or Alaska Airlines comes to mind. Lots of Sky Blue, and both expanding into Europe. Interesting. Sean McLaughlin, Cobb have always pushed the boundaries in regards to kit. Keep it going. Liam we want to play in the big league. We've got to play them where, yeah, that's basically what we're saying. You have to take it on the chin, don't you? Play them where they tell us to. Finn said, plenty of games to go yet. Anything can happen. Mark Webber, there's only 19 home league games in the Premier League, so in theory there should be less midweek games. There are, Mark. There's only 5 midweek, as in comparison to 9 in the Championship. So there will be less structured midweek games. Oh, sorry, just run that again. Get that off. Some TV figures for the Championship are as high as the Premiership now. I think, like, I don't know about you guys, but quite often I'll pick the Championship game over the because a lot of the Premiership games can be very like stale, can't they? The Yeah, it's quite often the Championship games can be much more exciting and goals and entertainment. So it depends who's playing in the Premier League, but it's not always the most entertaining football. They've sort of sanitised a lot of it, and then when you're having to wait 10 minutes for a VAR decision, that's going to be the topic, isn't it?
Well, I chose the Championship game, Southampton Norwich, over the Champions League this week. Because mainly it's of more interest to me.
Yeah, it's more relevant, isn't it? Like the games that we know the teams, and it's Frank said the Premier League is all about the worldwide TV audience, and the fans that go to games are almost irrelevant financially. I mean, that's the trouble, isn't it? Because the very top clubs make more money from global merchandise and like TV figures than they do from matchday fans, and that's the one problem with the way it's going. Matchday fans are becoming more and more irrelevant, so that is an issue. But they can't ever completely forget matchday fans, because there's not a product to sell around the world if no one's going. Like, nobody wants to sit and watch an empty stadium. Like, in those COVID times when there was no fans, that's just weird. You don't want to watch football like that. So you need so that they will always need matchday fans. They just need to make sure they manage that properly. Marty King, some planning for the Premier League has to be done now. As has been discussed on many topics tonight, there isn't enough time from the end of the season to the beginning of the Premier League, especially with the World Cup in between. That's right. You have to. Professionally, they're going to have to put things in place, aren't they? Sky Blue Bantam. All the new plans are a far cry from the 1961 Cup exit at home to King's Inn, when Jimmy Hill sat in the wings, ready to stare us into the limelight. That day we played it all in white. Paul Stratton. Finn, I will be the first to join in when the job is done. Take care. Yeah, and we've just but money's ruined the game since the Premiership. It's definitely changed it, and not all for the better, is it? That's the trouble. Mark Rainbow, only 14 of our games so far this season haven't been live on some sort of TV in the UK. And then what's coming on here is Uncle Junga. Premier League games are boring the last couple of seasons.
I've got to say, the amount of people that came up to me in work after the Middlesbrough game saying that is proper football. I had Premiership fans and Cardiff fans all saying that is proper football. That's Championship football. It was great.
Yeah.
Any more comments, Vicky?
No, that's the last one now. That's the last one.
Right. Well, Steve, thanks for coming on tonight. We're going to wrap it up there. We've done the 2 hours, I think. There's no time difference in Wales. Just centuries.
50 years, yeah.
30 years difference. It is a wonderful part of the world, actually. A friend of mine's got cottages in Pembrokeshire, which is I absolutely love it over there. Actually, just too flipping far. It's a trek, isn't it? You don't realise. You get as far as Cardiff, you still got forever to get home. It's but it's a great part of the world. Thanks for coming on, Steve, and waving the sky blue flag in Wales, which still seems bizarre that your son was born in Coventry, so you thought he'd support the football team. Thank God he wasn't born in Small Heath, or something like that. That would be a disaster, wouldn't it? Or round, Lazelle's around there somewhere. Luckily, it was in Coventry. On that assumption, I should have been supporting Leamington. So I was born at Warnford Hospital in Leamington. Where were you born, Vicky?
Walsgrove Hospital in Coventry.
Oh, yeah.
Same as Tom.
Could have been the same. Could have been the same bed. You never know. Anyway, Vicky, thanks again doing the comments and being on the Superstar tonight, and also your company during the day, which was really good. We had good fun at that. Some feisty old ones at the club, isn't there? As we learnt today, we had some fun and games. I'm looking forward to Saturday. There'll be an after show. Hopefully, I'll be on with Ethan from Australia. Even Jonah might be able to make an appearance. You're going to the game, aren't you, Steve?
Yeah. I'll be there.
Stay. Vicky, are you going or not?
No, I've got that. I've got that thing in the afternoon.
Of course you have, yeah. Of course you have, yeah.
So it might be on. Depends how sober I am.
It's about drink, isn't it? I'm not going on watching, but we need to get the job done soon because I'm going to Hull and I'm going to Blackburn. I'll just warn everybody now. I'll be going to Watford, so I'll be there for the home run. So apart from Swansea, I'll be seeing all the games. So there you go. Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thanks for the comments. Remember, get a ticket for the 30th of March. Super show. It's going to be at Greens in Kenilworth to see two of our top stars, and Liam Kelly and Michael Doyle, and of course Miles. He'll be MC that night. Good night, and play up Sky Blues.
Play up Sky Blues.
Sky Blue Fans TV.